Good morning. Apologies for this olive oil burn, but I am about to go get a workout in and I just don't see the point in putting any effort into my appearance when I'm just going to look like a sweaty behemoth afterwards anyway. I applaud the girls that can look cute working out, but I've never been the one. Anyways, I thought it would be kind of a good idea to do like a full comprehensive what I eat in a day video, you know, like not just showing you like what I eat, but also kind of getting into the details, like my thought processes behind it and what has been working for me so far. Because after my diet reveal video, God, that's such a weird way to put it, but that's kind of what it was. I mean, imagine if I had rented a hall and a photographer and then like filled a piñata full of Chomp's beef sticks. I mean, like, surprise, it's keto. Anything for the drama. I should have done that. Except for I'd probably have to take out a second mortgage on the house to afford enough Chomps to fill a piñata because those shits are expensive. Anyways, after my diet reveal video, a lot of you had questions about like what I'm specifically doing, asking me to do like what I eat in a day videos and stuff like that. And I figured I would just go through the whole thing. So I'd hopefully answer those questions and give you a bit more insight. But yeah, for those of you who didn't watch the diet reveal, I am doing keto as a metabolic intervention for mental health reasons. Mainly, like the weight loss thing is happening too, but just know if like weight loss was my only goal, I would probably be doing more of a whole foods, you know, eating complex carbs, limiting simple carbs and processed foods. And if like the keto does end up healing my metabolism, that's probably likely what I'll transition to afterwards. So just kind of putting that out there. And also it should go without saying, but I'm not a professional. I'm just someone who's trying to help themselves. I'm doing what works for me. By no way telling you how you should eat. Live your life, girl. And the 2% of gentlemen who watch this channel. But first things first, right off the bat, I got into the habit of drinking a glass of water every day, first thing when I wake up. Not only is hydration super important when you're on keto, in fact, like a lot of like the initial weight loss people see on the keto diet is water weight. I've read, and I don't know if it's right because I didn't like fact check it or anything, that for every carb, there's 3 molecules of water like attached to it. So like when you're depleting your carbs, a lot of that water goes with it. So that's like usually like the big number when like you first lose weight, but it's not actually like fat or anything. It's just water weight. So you got to replenish along with electrolytes. But I also noticed it's like a huge wake up to the digestive system. It really gets the people going, if you know what I mean. So it would be absolutely pointless to like drink this glass of water and then just run in the gym to think I'm gonna start my workout because I'd just be running back immediately to drop the kids off at the pool. I told you, comprehensive. So real quickly, so we could just get this workout over with, I wanted to kind of go over what I have been doing for exercise. My goal is 3 weightlifting workouts a week. They range from like 30 to 45 minutes in length, and they're total body workouts put together by my coach Grace. So I don't really have to think about it too much. I just get in here and I do it and it's great. And then sprinkled throughout the week, I like go on walks or, you know, just like some mild aerobic activity. But right now I would classify it more as like leisurely rather than like getting in a hardcore aerobic workout. And I don't really track it either. Because, you know, if you're like walking your dog and they're stopping to smell the flowers, you're not like getting that continuous exercise in there. But just kind of putting it out there that it's not like this big, intensive routine that's unmanageable. It's very manageable. And I feel like I'm getting stronger. So there's that. to 100 on those Russian twists. 20 pounds right off the bat. She's trying to kill me. Oh, Lord. Okay, let's get things going with breakfast, and you know, I gotta do it to them. It's of course the egg scramble that I've been obsessed with for the past like few weeks. I just felt like it'd kind of be a disservice to not give it its spot since, you know, it's been primarily what I have been eating for the majority of 2 weeks, maybe longer. I have no concept of time. Anyways, I'm gonna cook some bacon. Truly the only place to cook bacon, in my opinion, is the oven. It works so well. So this bacon is uncured, which I guess means that it has no nitrates. I'm not really sure why nitrates are bad for you, but my sister told me that she looked it up and said that they were. So I don't know. I don't really taste a huge difference other than this version has like a lot less sodium than other versions, but I don't mind it at all. While the bacon's cooking, we could go ahead and get the veggies started and chopped. I try to get like a wide variety of veggies, and the veggies are constantly changing up in this egg scramble. So it's not like I'm eating like the same thing every single morning. It's a little bit different each morning. That keeps it fresh too. Because something I'm trying to prioritize as much as I possibly can is getting in variety to my diet. Because supposedly it's supposed to be good for like your gut microbiome or whatever. Oh, those are all different sizes. Don't tell Gordon. If any of you rats me out to Gordon, I swear. So one important note about variety is, for example, like bell pepper, it comes in different colors. Like there's orange, yellow, green, red. All of those different colors count as different variations to add to your like total variety for the week. I think like the recommended is like 30 different veggies or something like that a week. Like that's the goal. I don't know. I don't really count. I just try to like get as much as I possibly can in there that's, you know, diverse. Now this one's kind of a non-negotiable, like I need it in every single egg scramble that I do. And it's raw jalapeno. It just like hits different. And it's always a mystery, like is this one gonna be spicy? Is it not? I don't know. Now we're doing some mushrooms. I think when people first start keto, they have to be like a little bit more strict to get into ketosis. But once you kind of like train your body to switch over into like the fat burning mode, it's a bit easier to stay in. So, you know, I was a little bit more careful in the beginning to like cut out certain carbs, even if they were complex carbs in recipes. And now we have the absolute bougiest cheese that I've ever seen in my entire life. This is like some kind of truffle Gouda. It wasn't that expensive actually, probably because it has like one little tendril of a mushroom. But I thought I would try it. I'm a fan of stinky old cheeses. Oh, I'm like salivating, just like cutting this. You may have noticed I have two little piles going on here. That's because these are gonna cook first and then I'll add these later because the spinach doesn't take that long to cook. And I kind of want the cheese to, instead of melting completely in the dish, be a little bit chunky, but still melty. I'm very particular about some things and then completely not at all about others. Also with breakfast, I take my potassium and magnesium supplement. I forgot to show it, but I did take my L-carnitine supplement before when I was drinking that glass of water. This honestly has no business being this good, but I think what kind of takes it to the next level is I use the Gordon Ramsay method for cooking scrambled eggs. Basically, he does butter and then slaps the eggs in the pan, and it's like constant agitation, and you're just like barely letting them set up. So they get real fluffy and creamy, and they're just awesome. Everything like melts together beautifully. Beautifully. Just really good. Gentle. Alright guys, this is what I'm having for snack. I just cut up some radishes and some cucumber, and I'm trying out these flaxseed crackers for the first time with a bit of goat cheese. I absolutely love goat cheese. I tried one of these crackers just by itself off camera, like while I was preparing it, because I like to sample while I cook. I call them chef snacks. But the cracker by itself, as you're like chewing it, it does have like a slimy texture after a while. But if you slather goat cheese on it, I can't even detect that at all when it's dressed. There's just a ton of like really satisfying different crunchy textures and flavors going on in the snack. I will be completely honest with you, the snack thing isn't an everyday thing. How my body has like naturally fallen into a rhythm based on my current like hunger levels has been usually eating twice a day. Usually like a breakfast and a dinner situation, with the snacks sometimes falling in between. And you know, it could be something little like just like a Chomps beef stick or Chomps and cheese or some veggies. Rarely I'll have a third meal, and that's not like some kind of tactic or something that I'm like trying to do. It's just something that I've naturally fallen into. Like obviously there's certain phases in my cycle when I'm hungrier, or like maybe if I've expended a lot of energy in a workout, like I'll feel hungrier, and then like I let my body have whatever it wants as far as like if I'm hungry, I eat. But I've noticed like in the way that I'm doing keto, and also like back when I was doing like the no added sugar challenge like last January, the more whole foods and the less processed foods I eat, the more reliable my hunger cues actually are. I've said in the past, like I don't know when I'm hungry. Like I don't know her, because I'd eat something like fast food and then like I would be full after eating, and then 20 minutes later be hungry again. Or if I was eating like too much sugar, it's kind of like, I don't know, why am I just hungry all of the time, even though I just ate? And I don't know, I just find myself feeling like a lot more satiated. And so I know like when I'm hungry, I'm actually hungry rather than just like maybe missing some kind of nutrient, or I'm not sure. If my eyes look funny, like I have 2 black eyes, don't despair. I just forgot that I was wearing makeup and rubbed them and then tried to clean that off, and that didn't really work out, and now there's just no rectifying the situation. Anyway, it's dinner time, and I want to make some cauliflower fried rice with some teriyaki chicken. I normally just season the chicken, and I don't use any kind of glaze or anything because a lot of glazes aren't keto friendly. But I found this teriyaki sauce and marinade from Primal Kitchen, so I'm gonna give that a go and see if it's not good. Frozen veggies are honestly kind of the way to go when it comes to this fried rice recipe. Just makes it so fast, so easy. And it would be fast and easy for me if I didn't have to make real fried rice for Steven. Well, I don't have to make real fried rice with Steven. He's pretty easygoing. He'll eat whatever, but he definitely prefers the real fried rice. But he got me some flowers from the grocery store when I made him go in for some ingredients. So I guess we'll be a little bit nice to him. So I don't know if traditionally it's in a fried rice recipe, but Buddy. So I don't know if traditionally it's in a fried rice recipe, but I add yellow onion. Chetty, are you gonna let me talk, or you want to talk yourself? Oh, little buddy. Really? Onion, garlic? Is there a savory recipe that it doesn't go in? I don't know. Ooh, my rice is boiling. Hold on. Crisis averted, Charles. And because I'm making 2 different versions, I'm just splitting my vegetable piles. so that I don't have to do it later. And I will go light on the carrots in my vegetable pile because carrots technically aren't on keto. Some root vegetables are kind of high in the sugar content, but I just like add a little in moderation, and it hasn't kicked me out of ketosis, so I think I'm fine. And like I mentioned, I had to be a little bit more strict in the beginning, and then now that my body has figured out how to be in ketosis, I can get away with a little bit more, you know what I mean? Jelly bean. And honestly, like the biggest thing that's like keeping me so on track with this diet is how it makes me feel. You know, like that takes like so much friction out of the scenario. Like my birthday was at the end of January and I didn't even get a cake or nothing. My mom was like, "You don't even want a piece of cake on your birthday?" And I was like, "No, I really do not." And it's hard to explain to someone, like, once you've been in like the depths of despair, you know, like the worst, like you're rock bottom, and then all of a sudden something's giving you like this beacon of hope. Like you're not gonna trade that in for a piece of cake. You know what I mean? So how this diet is making me feel is just like such a huge reason to stay the course.
Does that go on both?
Yeah, it's just teriyaki sauce. I needed to measure it out on mine. You can do what you want with it. Green onion. Oh, that one didn't get cut at all. Before we get into the weigh-in this week, I want to share with the class a little bit of a non-scale victory that I had. Actually, it's kind of like a big deal. Anyway, so a while back, I went to a routine eye appointment, and long story short, they saw some swelling on my optic nerve. This caused this like snowball effect of going and getting a bunch of like optometry tests done, MRI, seeing specialists, all because the swelling on the optic nerve can be indicative of a brain tumor. I didn't have a brain tumor, but then the fancy neuro-ophthalmologist guy that I ended up at said it could be one of two things. Either my optic nerve was weird, or I had something called intracranial hypertension, which just means you produce an excess of cerebral spinal fluid, which causes a lot of pressure in the head region, which I did definitely fit the demographic for because 20 to 30-year-old female, overweight. However, I guess how you like make for surezies about this is you do a spinal tap, and he didn't really want to do that seeing as I wasn't having any kind of other symptoms other than they saw that my optic nerve was swollen. So that kind of just like fell by the wayside. But a couple of days ago, I did go to the eye doctor for like a routine eye exam, you know, just get my prescription renewed, and I needed to get my eyes dilated. And they had two options. One was either the standard drops that make you not being able to see, and two, you could pay $25 extra to take a fancy picture of the back of your eye. I opted just to pay the $25 because I was gonna pick out glasses after that, and I would like to see what they look like. Anyways, what this picture showed is that my optic nerve swelling was no longer there. And because I took the picture, I was able to see for myself. And the eye doctor showed me like it's almost like a little water ring of like where the nerve was swollen to and where it had like receded to like a normal optic nerve size. And I asked the doctor why it would have gone away, and she said that the weight that I lost could have significantly helped, and also getting rid of any inflammation, which the keto diet is supposedly supposed to do, would also help that swelling go away. So that's just kind of like a random weird non-scale victory. So aside from like the mental health stuff, which I've definitely been noticing, also there's things inside my body happening and getting better without me even being aware of it if I hadn't gotten a random picture of my eye. So it's just further proof that I'm kind of like doing what's best for me. Okay, so now into the weigh-in. Last week I weighed exactly 239 pounds. This morning I stepped on the scale and I weighed 237.8 pounds. That's a weekly loss of 1.2 pounds and a total loss of 19.2 pounds. So we are nearly 20 pounds down. And hopefully this What I Eat in a Day video answered some questions that were out there. I'm in no way, shape, or form trying to position myself as some kind of messiah of keto. Like, girl, this is very much trial and error. Like, I'm just 2 months and some change into this. I'm just trying my best. But yeah, other than that, I just hope you're having a wonderful day. Subscribe if you wanna, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!